This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so quickly what I'll do, I'll try to create two pages. Okay, so one is a main page. Okay, main page, and other one is a detail page. Detail page. Okay, so I have two pages. I have extracted some sample tables to my Power BI desktop. Now, suppose if I'm going for any sample, kind of visualization, I want to understand product category wise sales amount details. So then probably I'll try to search for category values and sales amount values, and I will drag and drop under values tab. So this is my basic visualization. So basically I'll basically go for some kind of formatting in terms of text. Okay, let me do some formatting for this. Okay, let me do some basic formatting for this. I'm giving some color for this, and okay, let me increase just x-axis and y-axis values. uh, X-axis, y-axis values. I'm just trying to increase the x-axis and y-axis value, and also display units I'm mentioning it as a none, and I'm just trying to increase the values. Okay, so even if you go for y-axis values, so let me increase the y-axis values. This is something basic formatting that I'm doing, which we have already covered in terms of basic formatting. Okay, right. So this is how I have prepared a, let me display my data labels also. What about data label? Yeah, let me enable my data label option so that I'll be able to see the exact values for the data label. So I have created a sample visual. Yesterday we have seen we have three different types of we can implement filters within the Power BI visualizations in three levels. One is at report level, visual level, then page level. Okay, so report is a common collection of pages. Page is a collection of visuals. Okay, so yesterday we have seen how to apply the page level filter, report level filter, and visualization level filter. Okay, now so suppose let me quickly create say I'll take the control V. I'm just trying to say this as a pie chart, and I'm saying control V. Just I'm trying to convert this as a donut chart, then control V. I'm trying to convert this as this one. Okay, so then control V. I'm just trying to convert this as a some. Okay, or let me do this way. Yeah, so suppose I have some say sample visuals are there in my screen. So now I want to understand. I'm just trying to resize everything.
Hello. Yes, sir. We can't hear you. I mean,
Yeah, so that voice is not audible, right? I think he's
yeah,
so we must wait for
not clear also.
a few minutes.
Hello, hello.
Sir. Now it is clear, sir.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I'll have to check with my, service providers. Okay. Anyway, I'll try to check this. See, hope you're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, I'll try to complete what is Power BI template. Okay. So since it is a, kind of a small and important topic, let me complete Power BI template. So what do you mean by Power BI template? Generally, any file, any Power BI file that you're going to create, or any report that you're going to create. So when you're saving that report, it is going to be stored as a PBIX format. So what do you mean by PBIX? That nothing but Power BI, Power BI expression format. So there is something called .pbit format is also there. What do you mean by that? PBIT, Power BI template format. Why do we actually require Power BI template format? So to discuss about Power BI template, we need to discuss about few limitations of Power BI. Okay, so suppose like whatever the report we are designing, okay, whatever the reports that we are designing, and when we are publishing the reports to the next levels, maybe Power BI Cloud or Power BI Report Server, make sure your report size should not exceed 1 GB. Okay, it should not exceed 1 GB of size, okay, of your report. Okay, suppose you have a situation wherein your report size is exceeding more than 1 GB. Okay, so I mean, again, anyway, we have different licenses in Power BI. So we have something like free license, we have pro license, then we have premium license. Okay, we have free license, pro license, and premium license. So license to license, some features and flexibilities are there. The topmost license will be premium license. Anyway, we are going to discuss in detail about what premium license is, what pro license is, what free license is, okay, in our session. But here, try to understand one thing, that whatever the report that you are creating, when you're publishing or when you're sharing, So the size of the report should not exceed more than 1 GB. So that is a limitation. Okay. Now, what if suppose I have opened my Power BI desktop with a sample, sample tables I have imported. Suppose I am going for suppose say pie chart. I just want to understand uh, gender wise, say gender wise yearly income values. So simply I will try to drag and drop gender in the first column, then yearly income in the value pane. Right. My report is ready. Okay, just I'm expanding this. Right. My report is ready. Generally, now let me save this file. Let me save this file. If I save this file, so I'm going to save this under desktop. I have a new folder is there. Yeah, I have a new folder in this. Suppose I'm saving this as a sample. Try to see the extension for this file. It is going to be saved as a .pbix format. .pbix format, since it is a Power BI expression file. Okay, so right now if I save this file, I have saved this file to my Power BI desktop. I mean local desktop as a Power BI desktop as a Power BI x, that means x means expression file .pbix format. Okay, so let me go here and yes, I have saved my Power BI expression file format called sample file. Try to see the size of the report. It is 2306 KB. Okay, see, try to understand the importance of Power BI template file. Okay, so the only purpose of using Power BI template file to reduce the size of your report. So in this report, when you're saving the report in a Power BI extension format, exactly it is doing, it is trying to save the metadata and data which is available in this particular report. So that's what it is saving in Power BI expression file. Suppose, suppose I have a requirement with the same Power BI expression for file format. I have a requirement. When I open any report, any Power BI report, when I open any Power BI report, it should ask me a parameter saying whether I want to display the data from development server or UAT or production. Select the environment. It has to give an flexibility of giving these options, like whether it is a development, UAT or production. Based on your selection, the data is going to be reflected onto the report. See, whatever the data that you're able to see, F5239600, is it for a particular environment? Suppose if I change the environment from development to production to UAT, something like that, obviously the data values will get changed. So hope I have discussed with you on data source settings. Data source settings, wherein I have discussed about what it is going to be: dev environment, UAT environment, pre-prod environment, then production environment. Okay, so all these things that I have discussed. So all these things I have discussed. So did you guys remember when I was discussing with the data source setting? So I have discussed about development environment, UAT environment, pre-prod environment, how the project code moves from one environment to other environment. Guys, did you remember?
To refresh, sir. Hello.
Sorry, friends. So you guys remember, right? So when I was discussing with the data source settings, so there I was discussing about how the project environments are going to be. So development environment, UAT environment, pre-prod environment, production environment, right?
Yeah, right, sir.
Okay, so now let me go to the same report. Now let me go to transform data and see what are the data source settings. So if I click on the data source settings option, if I click on the data source setting option, I'll be able to see some environment details. So whatever you're able to see is a SQL server name, but this is for development. Since I'm in the training environment, obviously I'll not be able to find multiple things. I'll be able to find only one environment. But if it is in the real-time project, I'll be able to find either 3 or 4 environment. Either first it is development, then production, then UAT. If you have pre-prod also will be there. Okay, so usually what happens if you just try to change this source, just a second. Okay, assume if it is a development server, so server name is going to be something like underscore dev. So if it is a UAT server, server name is going to be underscore say UAT. So if it is a pre-prod, server name is going to be something underscore say pre-prod. Okay, so if it is production, it is going to be something like underscore P or PRD. Okay, it is not always the identification is going to be suffixed. Sometimes you will find say desktop hyphen dev hyphen something like that also, but try to understand the concept here. Try to understand the concepts here. See, in your real-time projects you will be able to see different environments. For each environment you will be having different server names. Okay, so since I'm in the training environment, I'll not be able to find multiple environments. Okay, so hope you understood, guys. So that's what I meant to say. In the data source settings, i'll be I'll be able to see this. Now my requirement is that whatever the report is there, when I'm closing this report, when I'm opening this report, this report should ask me to select the environment, whether it is a development environment. See, do you want me to display the same report with the development data, or with the UAT data, same report with UAD data, or same report with the pre-prod data, or same report with the production data? So it has to give a flexibility. Okay, it has to give an option. So to do this kind of things, what we have to do, anything if you want to implement dynamically, definitely there is no other go, you have to create a parameter. You have to create a parameter, and you need to assign this parameter to data source setting, to data source settings. You know how to create a parameter. Suppose, see, what I'm actually trying to tell you is, see, when I'm closing this, let me close this. Suppose this report is there. When I'm opening this report, it should ask me, see, it should not directly give the report and the data. It should ask me to select the, whether it is a development environment or production environment or UAT environment, something like that. So to do, or to implement certain kind of things, we need to create a parameter. Anything we need to implement, like, dynamic concept, I'm going to create a parameter, and that parameter I'm going to map it to data settings. Let me open my PowerBI file. Whatever the sample report that I have created now, just now, I'm just trying to open the same report. Yes, but this is directly opening. Okay, when I'm opening this, it's straight away opening and it is giving the report along with the data, right? I don't know, my system is too slow. Okay, so but it should not perform like this. So for that, what I have to do, I have to create a parameter. Okay, so how to create a parameter? First, did you guys understood the requirement, or do you want me to explain one more time for this? Surya, Ravi sir, Shweta,
No, I'm
Naveen.
clear, sir.
Okay, so that means when I open the same saved report, it should ask me whether I want to display the same report with the development data or UAT data or testing data. So it has to ask dynamically. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to create a parameter. So go to anything related to transformation changes, simply go to data, transform data. That means it will redirect your control to Power Query editor. There you can apply whatever the changes that you want, whatever the transformation that you want. As part of implementing the transformations, now I'm going to create a parameter. How to create a parameter? You already aware of this. Under manage parameters, click on a new parameter. Under manage parameters, click on a new parameter. Give a parameter name, say something like p underscore, say dynamic underscore environment. Okay, dynamic environment selection. You can give any name. Okay, dynamic selection of env. Okay, now make sure, suppose it should give some kind of list of values. Okay, you know, right? List of values means when I extract here that button something like this, it should give me list of values. So in that format I want the result. Suppose to do that, so simply you have to select the suggested values as a list of values. Okay, and provide server name. If it is a development, if see in real time, you are going to provide four values here. One is for development, one is for UAT, for production, pre-prod. But since you are in the training environment, you will be having only one list of value. Okay, you can also provide default value as a same value, and current value also same value. I have created a parameter. Click on create parameter. My parameter got created. Now what I have to do, whatever the parameter that I have created, I want to map this to my data source setting. So let me click on the data source settings. You'll be able to see the server details. So now click on change source. Now click on change source. Here you're going to map the server name. See, now the server name you're able to see something, but I don't want any static value. I want dynamic value. That means when I'm opening my report, whatever the value that I will select from the list of values, that has to sit here and it has to execute the report and it has to display the corresponding data on the reports. So how to do that? I have created a parameter. How to map the parameter to here? Simply click here. You'll be able to see the parameter option. Just click on parameter. Automatically, whatever the parameter dy and dynamic underscore env got created. Now simply click OK, close. Okay, click on close. Now try to say close and apply so that all the changes whatever I've implemented as part of transformations, it is going to be reflected in the report. Okay, now everything is ready. Okay, now everything is ready for my requirement. Everything is ready. Now let us focus on Power BI template. Now what is the purpose of using Power BI template? Why actually Power BI template? The only idea to get Power BI template is to reduce the size of the report, to compress the size of the report as much as we can, as much as we can. So that is the only advantages of using Power BI report, a Power BI template instead of Power BI expression file. Okay, now let me perform these options. It's too slow, man. So everything is ready now. Now let me just save this file. I have saved this file. Now what is the file format that I have? If you go to the location and see, it is in a PBIT format. To check the file format, go to properties of that particular file. You will be able to file. You will be able to file the format of PBIT format. Okay. Even if you go and see Power BI desktop, it is going to be a PBIT format, PBIX format. Now, how to convert your PBIX format into PBIT format? See, if you see here, right now the format of the file is .pbix and the size is somewhere like 2000 to 327. How to compress this file format? So to compress that we need to convert this file in Power BI template format. How are we going to convert? Simple option, go to file, not this file, I think this is the one. Okay, now go to file. There is an option called export option. Click on export option. You'll be able to see Power BI template. Click on Power BI template. It will ask you for the name. You can give if you want any description. Okay, this is a template file. If you don't give also should be fine. Okay, click on OK. It will ask you for the name of the file. What is going to be the name of the file? So for now, let it be for the same name. So go to desktop file, go to the same folder, let it be on the same name. Now try to see the extension here. This is .pbit extension, Power BI template format. So erase this. Now let me save with the same file. Done. Everything is right. Now simply I'm just closing this. Now try to understand the difference and the advantages of using Power BI template. Now try to see and observe the difference. What is the size of Power BI template, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is
Becomes
the
40
size?
GB.
Right, 40
40
KB.
KB.
Forty
What is the
GB.
Power BI expression? What is the Power BI expression format file size? It is
Got it.
2300. So that means from 2327, the size got compressed and reduced to 40 KB. How? I'll tell you. See, try to right click this file, go to the properties of this. Okay, see, try to see the description of this file. This is a PBIT, PBIT with 40 KB. Okay, so only thing is when we are going for Power BI template formats is to only to compress the size of the report. Since we have a limitation of it should not exceed more than 1 GB. This is our limitation. Right now I understand this is 2200, Nasser. Why are you converting into Power BI template? I understand because we are in the training environment. you know Creating 1 GB scenario doesn't make any sense, but in the real time your situations are not like that. Even if you select the same 7 tables to Power BI desktop, it may reach us to 1.5 GB also, because the volume of data will be more in real time. Okay, but to understand better, see, 2500 kbs got converted and compressed into 40 kb. How exactly it is happening? See, when you go for normal Power BI expression format, all the data and metadata of the tables that you have imported is going to be stored in the report. But whereas when you go for Power BI template formats, only metadata, when I say metadata, only column of the tables. Okay, when I say metadata, only column of the tables. So first column, second column, column name. Suppose if it is employee number, name, location, that copy to the report. Only metadata along with the visualization templates is going to be stored under Power BI template. till this point, whatever I have discussed with example. So are you clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Ravi sir, Sweta, Ravi sir, then Naveen. Okay. Okay, got it. Right. Now let me again come back to my requirement. So whether whatever this file which I have implemented the kind of dynamic parameters things, is it satisfying or not? Let me verify that. So just simply click on this particular, open the file. So ideally when I open this file, it should ask me a parameter to be selected. It should not give directly a report. Okay, it should not give. It ask me to select the environment. See, see, it is not proceeding further until unless if I don't select my parameter value. Since I have created this parameter or p underscore dynamic, if I don't provide any parameter value, it will not allow you to proceed further. So if I see, this is called a list of values, but since I am in the training environment, I'll be able to see only one environment, one server data. If I'm in the project environment, I'll be able to see 4 environment or 3 environment, something like that. So out of 3 or 4, you're going to select any one of the environment and click on load. The moment you select the environment, the report is going to be displayed with the with that selected environment data. Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Any questions on this?
No, sir.
That is how Power BI template and the purpose of using Power BI template only to reduce the size of the. So this is basically in real-time projects we will very oftenly, I mean, it's like regularly we will use this because in real time the volume of the data of the tables are huge. So obviously if we may need to convert your expression file format to Power BI template format. So that way you're going to convert Power BI template format. I don't know, my system is too slow, man. uh, yes, see, after selecting the kind of parameter, whatever the data that you're able to see is going to be displayed based on your selection of environment, based on your selection of environment. Okay, so hope this is clear, guys, right?
Clear, sir.
That's about the Power BI template. Let's just give me a minute so that I can show you some kind of basic implementation. I have prepared some document for you which talks about Power BI templates. Mm, mm, see, Power BI template will not store any data. When you open the file Power BI desktop, that time only it will try to load the data. Okay, so Power BI template format will be, see, Power BI template will hold a lightweight. Okay, normal Power BI file will hold more weight. Why? Because Power PBIX file will contain metadata along with the data. Okay, suppose I have a requirement something like this. So I have, this is what actually we have completed. We have completed the flow. We have a data source, but here we have development, testing, or production in PBX file. After creating a report, definitely it has to share for some other things. Say whether I want to share it for user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, or something like that. So again, here the limitation is the report size should not exceed it should not exceed more than 1 GB. It should not exceed more than 1 GB. Okay, so in that particular situation, the alternative solution is going to be your Power BI template. Okay, so that's where I have created everything. Okay, so guys, did you understand the concept of Power BI template now? Complete concept of Power BI template.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any questions till now?
No, sir.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so okay, I think I'm done with my Power BI template format. Now let us go back to our filters concept again. So okay, save this. Okay, I don't know. Now let me go back to your filters concept. Okay, I have created a main page and I have created a detail page. Now I'm going to discuss about what it is going to be a slicer concept. Slicers. Slicer means, what is the use of slicer? Slicer is used to filter the data. Slicer is used to filter your data. Okay, so quickly go to the main page, create a slicer. Suppose I want to create a slicer. How to create a slicer? Select the open area, click on the open area and go, and there is a filter symbol here. This is called slicer. Click on the slicer. Automatically slicer will be enabled. For slicer, you cannot pass more than one column value. You have to pass only one condition. Okay, suppose I want to filter my data based on English product category values. So how can I filter? So I'm going to create a slicer based on the English product category name. So select this column, drag and drop under fields area, so that the slicer is going to be created based on this. So just try to do some kind of basic formatting. Enable the title. Okay, enable the title. So this is a slicer. Say slicer underscore cat, slicer underscore category. Give some slicer title color, put it in the center. If you want, you can increase the size of the title. Okay, even you can increase the size of the values. Items, go to items. If you want to give some different colors for this, you can give the colors for the items. And if you want to increase some size of the, you can increase something like this. Okay, now try to understand the difference. So this is a slicer. So that means now try to observe clearly. When I'm selecting bikes, all the reports are, all the reports are filtering based on my slicer selection. When I'm selecting on accessories, all the reports are filtering based on my slicer selection. When I'm going for bikes, when I'm going for clothing, when I'm going for component. Suppose if I want to go for multi select, simply you have to click on the control button and click on the selections. Okay, so it is asking for the multi selection option. Okay, so that is the use of slicer. So slicer is basically used to filter the data. Whatever the category that you select, based on that your visuals are getting changed. Okay, but that is going to be applicable for that particular page only. The slicer is there in this page, so the filter activity is going to be applied to this page level only. So this is the use of slicers. Okay, even if you want, you can go for different slicer also. Suppose what all the different navigations that I can show. Right now I'm able to see my slicer categories based in the checkboxes. So can I change the format of this? Yes. How? So simply click here. You'll be able to see two things: list and drop down. So right now if I click on drop down, see the same slicer is going to be displayed in a drop down format. So suppose if you click here, you can select something like this. You can. Okay, so whether you want to display your slicer in a drop down or a list, it is all based on your requirement. So suppose I'm selecting for bikes, selecting clothing, selecting components. I want to erase all the things, all the filter selections. Simply, there is a symbol here which talks about clear selections. If you do this, the selections will be cleared. Okay, so guys, are you clear about slicer? Any questions?
I'm clear, sir. Sir,
Okay,
sorry, I need to drop.
yeah, you please go ahead. I'm going to wind up in another 5 minutes. Okay,
Sure, sir. Thank you.
right. Yeah, well, so that's about slicer concepts. Even if you go to slicer and go to the format options here, what else you can change? Okay, you can change the item size. And if you go to general, there is an option called orientation. So right now it is in the vertical manner. So can I go for horizontal? So simply go to the horizontal, try to see the difference. See, when I go and click on orientation in a horizontal manner, it is something looks like this. So you can click something like this. Again, if you want to say control multi select, you can press control and do this. Okay, so to do this kind of navigation from vertical to horizontal, so under general of the filter settings, you have to change the orientation type from vertical to horizontal. Suppose if I'm going back for the vertical, I'll be able to see something like this. Guys, are you clear? Okay, so yeah, guys, Naveen, Vinod, Shweta, are you clear till now? Whatever I've discussed.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay, so we have still some more options are there. So let me hold here. We'll meet tomorrow to discuss on some more options within the slicer. Tomorrow I'm going to create one more slicer. So can I create only one slicer or multiple slicers? It's up to you. In a single dashboard, you can create any number of slicers, but mandatory criteria is for slicer you can pass only one column as a condition. You cannot pass another column. See, right now I have created the slicer based on which column criteria? English product category name. So can I create a slicer on say calendar year on any other column? So then yes. How? Simply click on the open area, click on open area and click on the slicer option. So for this slicer, only one column you can pass as a parameter. So what is that? Suppose just try to type year. So in dim date table you have a calendar year column. Simply select, drag and drop this column under this fields area so that the another slicer is going to be created on a calendar year column. Okay, even if you go to format, you can enable the change something like this. So this is a slicer on year. Okay, give some color for this, then you can put it in the center if you want. You can increase the value. Okay, what else you can do? You can even go to anything you can change, like if you want to change the numeric inputs, like you can increase the size. You can increase the size, you can decrease that size, anything you can do this. Okay, for now let me save this file. We don't want to create everything. So this is filters. Okay, so I'm just trying to save this with filter options. Tomorrow, instead of creating, directly we will work on this. So till now, do you have any questions, guys?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay. Okay, Shweta, are you clear? Rupa, Shweta.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
See, guys, everything is important. Try to spend some time in practicing this. If you don't practice, I'm telling you, it is difficult for you to understand and it is difficult for you to work on. I request again, practice on a daily basis. Okay, see, these are all different options. You cannot even understand after that. Okay, so I request spend some time to practice on a daily basis. Okay, so any questions, guys? Any on Power BI template and slicer concept?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay, so if you don't have any question, I'm holding here because I need to catch up some client meetings sharp 9:30. Okay, I'm holding here. We'll meet tomorrow same hour time, like 10:30 to 11:30. If any time changes is there, so I'll update you in the WhatsApp.